What is going on, everybody? Welcome back, Dudes Who Bet Daily, April 8, 2023. It's Magic Mike episode of Dudes Who Bet Daily. I don't think we've ever done this. It's just me and you.
No, I was the intro kind of threw me off. I was ready to do, hey everybody, I'm Magic, I'm Mike, and this is Magic. No, it's a different show. But yeah, no, this is fine. We got this covered. It's Derby Oaks prep day, right? So this is easy for us.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of horse racing today. We'll fly through some sports games and talk about a little bit of the races, as well as the races we're most excited to look forward to outside of the Derby preps. But we'll kick it off with baseball here. Astros taking on the Twins. Twins minus 120. Twins were able to get it done in extras last night. Total sitting at 7.5. Magic, who do you like here?
Astros dating back to last year, they're 6-1 against Minnesota Twins. I think they keep that going. That they're also within their last 5 games in Minnesota, they're 4-1. So no problem going on the road. They are a slight favorite right now. I think it's fine to take the Astros. You know, a little signal calling, little bang 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 on the trash can, get the job done.
Yeah, the Stros lost yesterday as a dog. They need to get it going here. They're having a rough start to the season. The Twins 5-2 to kick this thing off. I'll take the plus money with the Astros, although this isn't one of the ones that I love. I did not bet this one, but I would take the Astros at plus money if I was going to. So I do a game that I did bet here, actually quite a bit. We got the Athletics versus the Rays, minus 280. Total sitting here at 7.5. I love me some Jeffrey Springer this year. I think he's got a shot at winning the Cy Young in the AL. I know a friend who has a 200-1 ticket on him to win the Cy Young, sitting at 25-1 now. Struck out 12 Athletics in the first time they faced each other. They've already faced each other once this season. What'd you end up doing here, Magic, before I run through my litany of bets here?
That is an awesome bet. Good for your friend. I mean, I know it's early and it's baseball, it's a ridiculously long season, but yeah, that's a good one on him. I don't know what the odds are. I was looking right now to see the 5 innings mark would be. I think you definitely, if you don't like the Rays with that kind of heavy line there, take the first 5 innings, because as good as Jeffrey Springs was, Shintaro Fujinami starting for the A's, but he did not have a good start to his season. Just 2 1/3 innings pitched against the Angels in his first one. He got 4 strikeouts, but he had 8 earned runs, 5 hits, 3 walks. It was not a good performance for Fujinami. You would think that he probably will rebound from that, but I still would take the first 5 innings Rays.
Yeah, I bet this 4 separate ways. So I bet Rays first 5 minus a half, minus 180. I bet Rays over 4, minus 110. I bet Springer over 6.5 strikeouts, plus 105. And I bet Rays minus a run and a half, minus 140. I think it's a wonderful matchup for the Rays, who are clearly the better team. The A's may be the worst team in baseball. They are right up there, and this is just an awful matchup for them. So I am all over this game today. Got 2 nice matchups from the ice to talk about here, Magic. Golden Knights heading in to take on the Stars, minus 140. Total sitting at 6. Monster game for both of these teams as we close out the season. They're both jockeying for playoff position in their respective divisions. Did you take anything here?
I didn't. If I would, I'd go with the Stars. When it comes down to a matchup where it's like both teams are fighting for something and they look more or less evenly matched in a lot of regards, I look at the goalies, and Jake Ettinger going to start for the Stars. He's been stellar, 33-11 record right now, 247 goals against average, nice healthy 917 save percentage. And on the other side, the Vegas Golden Knights are starting Jonathan Quick. And, you know, if this was the Quick from 5-10 years ago, look out. This is not that Jonathan Quick. He is not so, pardon the pun, quick anymore. He's okay. He's a solid, but he should not be your number 1 heading into a playoffs at this point.
Yeah, Jonathan Quick and the goaltending really for the Golden Knights, the problem with this team. If they had a solid goaltender, I would consider taking them to win the Stanley Cup, because they have a very good roster outside of that one major hole. They tried to fill up the trade deadline, but injuries have just riddled them on the back end. I like the first period under here. You can get first period under a 1.5 plus 105. Stars, one of the best home teams for first period unders. Golden Knights, one of the best road teams for first period unders. So this one lines up well for us. I'll take the first period under 1.5. I agree with you. I would take the Stars here. I might even lay the 1.5 if I was going to play this game to get nice plus money. It's like plus 185 right now for a team that plays very, very well at home. Stars, one of the best home teams in the NHL. Speaking of best home teams in the NHL, Magic, let's talk a little bit about the Devils and the Bruins here. Devils, your boys. I knew you'd be here. I had to put this one in because they're taking on the Bruins, the best team in hockey. Bruins minus 135. Total sitting at 6 here. Can you do it still?
Devils! Yeah, of course. I love that you did this for them. But here's what I love about this game. The Bruins are like, they're just incredible that they've been able to sustain this run like this deep into the season. But What I love about this game, Jack Hughes for the was he the captain for the Devils? I can't remember if he's captain yet. I think he's alternate captain. He's got a brother, Quinn Hughes, alternate captain for the Vancouver Canucks. The third Hughes brother just signed. He was drafted by the Devils. Quinn Hughes, the defenseman, going to make his NHL debut tonight, playing for the Devils with his brother Jack. Super exciting. I think that sort of an energy is going to help Jack Hughes fire up the team. I think they're going to be super excited. They've got a lot to play for here to keep the momentum going. Boston, they're just solid, and they know that they're super strong. Linus Ullmark, it's ridiculous this kind of season he's had. Vanacek for the Devils, he's also been pretty damn good. It's just he's not been he's been great. It's just Ullmark's been unreal this year.
Yeah, the Bruins have just had phenomenal goaltending. Both of their starter and their backup Swayman's been exceptional as well. It's been one of the strengths of that team, amongst a plethora of strengths, really. Yeah, give me the Bruins minus 135. This seems cheap to me, to be honest with you. It just feels like if the Bruins are at home and you're playing anything near minus or sub minus 150, the line's a little bit short, especially considering, the argument is they don't have much to play for. They want this record. They want to do it, and they are still in line to be able to get that. So we'll see if they're able to do it. Real quick before we jump into horse racing, Dr. Tang throwing a best bet here under in the Yankees and Orioles today. Chris likes that one as well. Chris also apparently not happy with your boy Flavian Pratt. What do you think that's all about?
Whoa. Why are we mad at everybody's mad about the ride on Punch Bowl in the Ashland Stakes. I'm here to tell you, I said on the live show, don't bet her at that price. She's not bettable at that price and did not turn out well. If you played the back wheel exacta, that was the way to go. You got the McPeak price and then the favorite underneath there. None of those fillies are any good. We'll talk about this more on Monday on the Magic Mike Show. I don't want to touch anything really coming out of that race. So,
man, it just that whole Oaks picture is a mess right now, right? Obviously, you got wet paint. She's coming along great. The Pletcher, I can't remember the name, is just crushing on synthetic. Been wonderful as well.
What's the Cox? Botanical.
Botanical. There it is. Yeah. Outside of that, just a mess. Just an absolute mess there with the fillies this year in the Oaks. Let's move over to the Derby preps. We've got 3 of them today. This is where we're going to have the meat of the show, which is what I assume most people want here. First off, before we do that, excellent job on the live show, Magic. You were talking to me about it before it. Had a bunch of people who were watching, a bunch of people who cashed tickets. Great call on Mo Stash. So I know you were all over that horse at 5-1 getting home. Yeah,
it was great to have. And we did, about 45, 50 people. It was great. A nice little prepper, kind of a last second decision. And I know Friday is hard because it's Good Friday. So people might have had the day off and were traveling or maybe people were working like I was. So it was great to have some people in the chat. I know Sade was able to cash. Ed Burke was cashing. Jared Rogers, he's buying dinner for the next month because he cashed the super all on his own for the Transylvania, which was awesome. And then I know he also singled Mo Stash for a pick 3 that ended up paying pretty well, because he had the McPeak horse in the Ashland. So that worked out really well. If you know what I liked about that move, something that you do a lot on the Magic Mike Show, you're contrary, right? You're contrarian. You've got that huge Transylvania field. It's like, boy, you could play 4, 5, 6 horses. And he goes, no, I'm going to single one, and I'm going to spread in the Oaks prep where everybody was trying to go 1 or 2 deep, and it worked out really well for him. So glad to see that. And he was alive, I think, too. He had the top 2 horses that were coming home in the finale where it came really close. And he had 4 or 5 behind him at prices. So it was a good day for him, good day for the show. We'll be back at 2 Pacific, 5 Eastern, and we're going to do that. I got roll it all back. Mike might be able to join me. We'll see. I know Aaron and Jared are going to be at the track. Hopefully this time we can get them to call in because they kind of ghosted me. I don't think that they liked that I was doing so well on my own.
Yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm looking forward to being on live with you here. We're going to have all 3 Derby preps that we'll be covering live. So that'll be a fun show. We'll see if Aaron and Jared can jump in or not. They're going to be, like you said there, but going to be a lot of fun. We're going to kick this off with Kelly's question here. We're going to talk a little Tapit Trice. Let's head over to Keeneland. Let's talk about the Bluegrass. Tapit Trice draws the rail. Verifying should be controlling speed. Speed was pretty good yesterday over at Keeneland. What are your thoughts on this one after seeing a race day at Keeneland? Are you going to go put Verifying on top? You think Tapit Trice can run him down? Or are you going a different direction?
Excellent lead in there, love it, because I was going to bring this up. Keeneland, at both surfaces, it seemed like you needed to be within dirt. You needed to be closer, but you needed to be pretty close on turf too, or at least around that far turn. I saw Frankie Dettori on the motion horse. I think it was race 4 yesterday. Was farther back, probably a little bit behind mid-pack down the backstretch, but going into the turn, he pressed the button so that the horse was only a couple of lengths off the leader at the top of the stretch and was able to fly by. On dirt, it could be a different track, today, but watch the early races. But Tapit Trice's rail draw isn't what worries me. It's the fact that he is slow out of the gate, and the whole plan is going to be to drop back to save ground from the rail. He needed to be close. Verifying was my top pick in this race. The way the race went yesterday, the dirt races went on 2 turns yesterday. I very much want Verifying for this race. I'll be curious to see what the odds are, because I know that Verifying, it's him in the 9, right? And the 9 seems like cheap speed for the coach. So it's tough. I'm going to roll with Verifying here. If you like Tapit Trice coming into this, Luis Saez, to his credit, on Julia Shining, tried putting her a lot closer to the pace early in the Ashland Stakes. And with her running style, I don't think it worked out for him. Tapit Trice's key to victory will be Saez not letting him be at the rear of the pack and putting him trying to be in the middle of the pack there. If he can get that to happen, then Tapit Trice has a chance. But Mike, that's the only way I see him winning.
Yeah, I keep going back to that mile allowance at Gulfstream against Shesterkin, where Tapit Trice a length off a 47 pace. That's kind of what he needs to do again. It's going to be all about how Saez gets this horse out of the gate. If he's able to get him out of the gate and get involved, I think Tapit Trice has a very good chance at winning this race. If he's sitting 8, 9, 10 lengths back around that first turn or in the backstretch, that's going to be tough, especially with the short stretch at Keeneland. I think you made a great point as well around the 9. Absolutely no chance to win the race. Maybe the most important horse in the race, however, because if he presses Verifying, that opens it up for horses like Tapit Trice, for a guy, this horse that you like, Sun Thunder, for Blazing Sevens, who's going to be coming from off it as well. So it's all about this early pace. I didn't like Verifying as much on Thursday as I do today. I think he is definitely a threat to take this field gate to wire, especially since he's going to be inside speed. I'm going to put Tapit Trice on top still, but I am a lot more scared of Verifying than I was 2 days ago.
Be very scared of Verifying. And by the way, if we're sitting here saying be scared of Verifying, how good is this field in the Bluegrass? I mean, we talked about the Ashland not being a good Oaks prep. We'll see. We'll see after today.
I mean, the fact that I'm even considering Blazing Sevens tells you how good I think, and Sun Thunder tells you how good I think this field is. All right, let's head over to Aqueduct. We got the Grade 2 Wood Memorial, 1 1/8 over the dirt. Our boy Arctic Arrogance going to try and run second one more time. Your favorite all the way on the outside, Hit Show, draws the 13 post. I think we're going to learn a lot about Hit Show today. It's a race he really should win, but the post isn't great. Can he get it done?
I think he can, but you're right. It's going to be a tough ask for him to do. So we have a scratch from the 6 Clear the Air. He's going to run in the Bluegrass instead of the Wood. So it's going to move everybody inside, but it's tough. The horse, luckily, is like kind of a mid-pack runner. Manny Franco's job really is just don't let him hang too wide into that first turn. So if you can break and get over, too wide mid-pack, that'll be a good spot for him. I think Arctic Arrogance is a great pick to run second again. I don't think he's going to win, but we're going blinkers off now. It didn't quite work out like we had hoped in the Withers Stakes, but he was a decent second to Hit Show. He was second before that in the Jerome to Lugan Knight. He just loves to run second, but he's never finished outside the exacta, and so you're going to try to figure out which way are we going to roll with this one here. For me, I put Hit Show on top. I think if you like a horse, a maiden runner, Dreamlike is one that you brought up as well for Todd Pletcher. He's got 2 maidens in here, and he won this with Bourbonic a couple of years ago as a maiden. Of the 2 maidens, Dreamlike, he's a lot more forwardly placed, and then you've got Krupe, who's going to be a dead closer with Carmouche, who rode Bourbonic. So if you're looking to play this race, mix in those maidens underneath. If you really like them to win, go ahead, but I definitely think you should be worried about those maidens for your exotics.
Yeah, Krupe's one of those horses where he really had the setup in the Risen Star. Like, they went so fast early. You saw horses come from off the pace. However, that race has come back a lot better after what we saw from Angel of Empire, and I think either of us expected. So you got to respect Krupe. Dreamlike, really interesting to me on the inside. The pace in this race, I think, is going to be really interesting as well. We talked about it in the last race. There's a couple horses that want to get up and go early, Arctic Arrogance included in that list. Mm-hmm. It's going to be interesting to see who sets the pace for this 1 1/8 race. And it feels like there's going to be some horses really sucking wind toward the end of this. Mm-hmm. And we have seen the Wood produce some pretty crazy prices before. I kind of agree with Chris, though. I don't love the 13, but if it's not the 13, I'm not sure who wins, because it's probably someone who's a pretty big price or someone that you don't fully expect. I ended up with Hit Show on top here. Not a race I'm going to bet a lot of money on unless I decide I like a price a little bit later in the day. Make sure you're checking out the live show. We'll have actual prices on these horses so we can talk through it. I'm also not willing to bet Hit Show at 8-5, right? Which is, I think, what the expected off odds are going to be here.
Yeah, that's way too low on that one. And Dreamlike at 7-2. I was surprised that he was that low. I know he had that race at Gulfstream where he was 1-5 and still ended up losing. But he loves another horse that likes to run second, at least so far, and he's by Gun Runner out of a Tappet mare. There's no reason not to like him, but the prices are going to be crazy. It almost feels like this is one where you catch a horse at like 8-10-1, and maybe that's the horse that ends up getting the job done.
You think it could be the other Pletcher? Classic Catch breaking out of the 11 post, wants to come from off the pace, has won at 1 1/8 miles twice, including over this track. Is that a horse that you have any interest in?
The fact that he had that Gulfstream Park allowance win looking pretty strong over Mr. Ripple, and quite proven another Derby horse. Like you could point to that and say he's got a chance. It's not a terrible pick. The thing that knocks it for me, I know Dan and Michael have him in the fantasy league, and usually when they claim horses, they pretty bad in their starts. So I'm not sure about that, but maybe they'll buck the trend with Classic Catch.
All right, let's head over to Santa Anita, the race I am looking forward to the most of these three preps. We've got the Santa Anita Derby, Grade 1, breaking from the post here at 5:43 Eastern, going 1 1/8 miles over the dirt. You've got Practical Move back in here after a really impressive San Felipe win, won by open lengths over Go Rocket Ride, Skinner, and a host of others in that spot. The big question, Practical Joke here. You used to tell me friends don't let friends bet Practical Joke around 2 turns. Well, that backfired last time out. Is Practical Move going to be able to get the 1 1/8 today?
That's a good question. I don't have him winning. So can he go 1 1/8 miles without falling down? Yes, I absolutely think he can. I think this race is Go Rocket Rides to lose. And if you point back to the St. Philippe, when he didn't get to the lead, he was a length behind Hijazi. Hijazi is very clearly a one-turn horse, completely quit out in there. Go Rocket Ride kept rolling. He kept trying, and that was his first time at 2 turns, first time facing winners, second career start. Now you take that experience, you move it forward. And by the way, Flavian Pratt, I know Chris Mael is not his best friend right now, but Flavian Pratt is going to be at Keeneland the entire meet. He and John Velasquez both took today off from Keeneland to be here at Santa Anita to ride these horses, trying to get into the Kentucky Derby. Flavian Pratt moving away from the Bluegrass, where he probably could have gotten a really good horse, to come over here. $1 million purse, $750 purse for Go Rocket Ride. It's screaming to me that this horse is great. He doesn't have a Hijazi that's going to push him. He should have a lone, easy lead. Even if the 4 pushes him a little bit early, I think Go Rocket Ride just goes gate to wire here, Mike.
I like Go Rocket Ride quite a bit here as well. I think this is the horse to beat. He didn't break well. He had trouble in that race. That was first time against winners, first time 2 turns. I think we see a much better version of Go Rocket Ride here. Don't hate the 3-5 Exacta Cold either. I'm in a tournament today at Santa Anita. That may be one of my bigger bets, depending on where I'm sitting there in that tournament. I may just play Go Rocket Ride to win, depending on the price. If we get 3-1,
big news. Go Rocket Ride scratching.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh, biscuits.
Spike to temperature. Breaking news. Go Rocket Ride is going to be out of the Santa Anita Derby.
Well, that flips this one on the head. So I guess if Go Rocket Ride's out, who makes the lead, Magic?
I think there's 1 or 2 horses. I think the cheap horse, one in Vermilion from Sunland Park, I think he's got a chance to come in there and get the job done. But I'm going to go with National Treasure. If National Treasure either is on the lead or sits right off of it, it's going to make him a lot more dangerous. He's also 3-1. Go Rocket Ride 3-1. You're going to see very almost unplayable prices with Practical Move and National Treasure now.
Yeah, Practical Move and National Treasure both going to get hit. Skinner going to be an interesting price depending on what happens there. I don't really have a ton of interest in Skinner, though. What does this do to Mandarin Hero? The horse that I think is going to be the wise guy, a popular play today. I'm not going to say the wise guy horse, but a popular play today. First Japanese horse here in America on this Triple Crown Trail. What do you do with him?
Chuck him. I'm not touching him. So here's the thing about the Santa Anita with these dirt races going 2 turns. You need speed. If there's not any like a huge pace collapse, it looks like, or a bunch of cheap speed, you need a speed horse. And they have said from the start, like the trainer said before they shipped him over, like, well, he runs at the back and we're just going to have him kind of make his move and try and get up there. Maybe use him for the super, but I think he's going to, especially now with the scratch of Go Rocket Ride 8-1, you're looking at 6-1, 5. I mean, he's going to be a lot lower than that. And if I'm picking a closer, I'd rather have Skinner, who's proven on the dirt track here at Santa Anita Park with a jockey and Victor Espinosa that I know is going to be getting moving late in the stretch there. Mandarin Hero also, from what I understand, and we're not Japanese racing experts, but there are 2 big circuits in Japan. There's the main circuit, the JRA. Mandarin Hero wasn't on the JRA. He was on the other circuit. I think it was the NRA.
Oi.
Maybe got that wrong.
Oi.
Oh yeah, that's what he kept doing. That's a track. Oi, very funny. He is good. You know, he's been well on dirt. The only time he's lost was going a mile in the Nathan. That was his first start as a 3-year-old. But if he wasn't competing against horses of the caliber of a Dermasotogake, a Continuar, who are going to come over for it, and we've seen them race against, at least on the big stage at Dubai and Saudi. If he's not racing against caliber horses of that, and now you bring him here, I respect what they're doing. They're bringing him here to try and see how he handles it before they just go, let's go Derby. But yeah, I just don't see it happening.
You think we could enter Cave Rock real quick? Just real quick. Just real quick here.
Dude, I don't want to talk about Cave Rock ever again.
Please not, baby. Just put in Cave Rock for Go Rocket Ride. That'd be fun right now. I think that would probably end up pretty well for Cave Rock. All right. Well, this makes the live show even more interesting later today now, because there goes one of my best bets on the card. We're gonna have to figure out how to play that one on the fly, and we'll see what happens here from an odds perspective, because this board is going to be wild when it actually goes down. I mean, Practical Move might be sub even money now with the scratch of Go Rocket Ride, because I don't think National Treasure is going to take as much as you do necessarily. I think people are kind of over National Treasure, which means it's probably the right time to bet him. But we'll see what happens here from a price perspective, and that pace is going to be interesting because you have two horses coming in from Sunland. Probably going to heat it up a little bit. Magic, one more time. What time are we going to be on live here?
We're going to be 2 to 3:30 Pacific, so 5 to 6:30 Eastern time.
There we go. We'll see you then. Let's go into the best bets of the day here. Aaron sent one in. He's going to take the Oilers and the Panthers, two pretty big favorites on the ice today. Play them together at plus 115. The Oilers should absolutely romp. Panthers the one I'm worried about here. We'll see what happens. I'm going to go with the Minnesota Wild. They're playing the St. Louis Blues at home. Wild laying a goal and a half here. This is a situation where the Wild have everything to play for, and this is not a great matchup for the Blues. The Blues have been successful playing teams that play wide open. That is not what the Wild do. They like to shut you down on defense. It's going to be tough for the Blues to put the puck in the net. I think the Wild get a couple here. I'll lay the goal and a half with the Wild, plus 105. Like I said, though, if I could, my best bet would be the Rays minus a half run, first five, minus 180. But too big of a juice there. I don't really feel like playing a parlay. I would rather just take the Wild here, minus 1.5, plus 105. Magic, best bet of the day here. We disagree on this one, so go ahead and make your case.
I really didn't like a lot of the sports options, and then for the Magic Mike show that we did for the All Stakes Pick 5, race 5 kicks it off, and I singled here, and I thought, this was my strongest. If I singled here and it was my strongest opinion for the sequence, I might as well just make it my strongest play here. Tyler Gaffleone staying aboard, or getting back aboard rather. Nakatomi, the 2-horse, the 2-1 favorite. If you look back, first of all, the horse is 3 for 3 at Keeneland. Absolutely love that. Go 3 races back on Breeders' Cup Friday, Saturday. He was in an allowance race against older horses. His first time really stepping up to face older horses of that caliber. He beats a horse named Endorse by a half length. Endorse went from there to Gulfstream Park, went an absolute tear, winning a bunch of races. But the reason I like that race and point to it is that is the exact running style that he will need to have to be able to win this race. And Gaffleone broke out of the 2-post there. It worked out well. The Malibu, he was a little bit too far back early, but he also closed to be only 3/4 of a length off of second. Table, you were never catching him that day, right? He absolutely freaked. Go back 3 races back, that Keeneland allowance, Tyler Gaffleone in the saddle. It was just an absolutely beautiful ride. He got the job done. That's what does it here. So I'm going to roll with Nakatomi. He is 33% winners for riding for Wesley Ward in the last year, 54% in the money. Wesley Ward was looking great yesterday, right? With the horse. The horse that won the debut maybe was a little funky, but Ward definitely had Bledsoe ready to go. I think he'll have Nakatomi ready here.
Bledsoe was not impressive yesterday. If that is Ward's best 2-year-old, watch out. He's going to have a pretty down year, because I thought the 7 was like 36-1, 25, whatever, was much better horse there. I like the 7 Run Classic in this race. We talked about it on the Magic Mike show. I don't dislike your 2. It's my second pick, but I like the 7 in the Run Classic in this race. Should be a fun one there. This one, like Magic said, kicks off the All Stakes Pick 5. We got a carryover Pick 6 at Keeneland today. We've got a mandatory Pick 6 at Santa Anita today. So 2 monster pools are going to be forming there at both of those tracks, as well as this All Stakes Pick 5 and the late Pick 5 from Keeneland. Wonderful betting day from that perspective. Got the Santa Anita Derby contest over at Express Bet if you're looking to get involved there. Got 125 people there expecting, with 3 NHC seats and an additional 5, I believe it is, Kentucky Derby seats. So a lot of fun there if you want to play tournaments. Should be a blast today. Looking forward to doing the live show with you, Magic, later. Let's go over the best bets here. Then we'll sign off and we'll get into it. Oh, one more thing. The 13 drew in Keeneland's first race. Watch out. That's all I'm saying. Aaron, he's going to take the Oilers and the Panthers, plus 115 on the money line. I'm going to go Wild, minus a goal and a half, plus 105. Magic, Keeneland, race number 5, horse number 2, 5-5 for the week, up $206, down $112 for the year. We're going to get it back, though. Today's the day, baby. Let's go. All right. Thank you very much for joining us here, Dudes Who Bet Daily. We will see you later for live coverage of all 3 of the Kentucky Derby preps. Magic, any parting words?
Good luck.
That's pretty good words.